What's going on? It is Cop Pizzle. The Giants just got the win in Buffalo, week 1 of the preseason. And I know it's just preseason, but, with everything that's been going on in training camp, the guys been working hard. I think it's just good that they were able to go to Buffalo and get a win after what's been going on the last 12 months, just to get just a positive, feeling to what they've got going on. And so, although it doesn't mean a whole lot, I think it could mean a little something to this team as we try to build on this, 2025 campaign. What we saw today, it's so weird. I know we've seen it in practice and training camp, but it's so weird to see Russell Wilson as our quarterback. I mean, he's had such a good long career in the National Football League, and to see him as a Giant, out there playing, wearing the colors, it's just a weird. It's going to take a little bit getting used to, But look, I mean, he brought a veteran presence to the position today. I felt like a lot of the, decisions he made, the throws he made, he was 6 for 7. I believe he only threw for like 28 yards. Nothing flashy, nothing that's going to jump off the page. But he just played, he just looked like a guy that was going out there to manage the game. And I think that's really all we're asking for from Russ this season is just go out there and manage the game, make good decisions, and don't turn the ball over and things like that. Just bring stability to the position. It was good to see some of the guys out there making plays. Obviously, Jackson Dart got some time, and I felt like Jackson Dart honestly played really well. The touchdown pass was to little Jordan Humphrey. I thought it was a beautiful pass. He had a man in his face, still made the throw, put it right in stride. I mean, looked like a legitimate first-round NFL-type throw. And, I understand that Dart's going to be criticized by fans, by the media, by everybody. But from what we saw today, I don't see how you can complain about it. I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about what I saw today from Dart. Did he make some rookie mistakes? Yeah. But also you saw talent there. You saw what he could potentially bring to this team moving forward. And look, we may only see Dart in the preseason this season, right? I mean, who knows if he's going to get any actual regular season action. But from the preseason, this may be all we get. So for him to go out there and have positive play and do well, I think it's extremely important because as fans, it gives us the confidence going into next offseason that, what we saw from Dart in the preseason gives us hope and optimism going in the 2026 season. So these 3 games, and I know there's 2 remaining, they're extremely important for us as fans to know, like, hey, we feel good about what we got with Dart. So I was happy to see that. Defensively, the first unit, and I understand not everybody was out there, but you can just feel that unit is something that we as fans can really be proud about. Like, they just look like are going to be able to make plays. Look, I'm a little bit worried about the run defense aspect. It seemed like there were some broken tackles there and some running lanes, but obviously, when we have everybody out there, I think things could change. Which brings up to another point that I have in just 1 minute. But you can just feel like there's a lot of confidence on the defensive side of the ball, and that the defensive unit could really help this team produce wins in 2025. And what the offense lacks, the defense can pick them up and put them in good situations that allow the offense to go be able to put points on the board. The point that I want to make, though, and you've seen a little bit of this in training camp, but especially in today's preseason game, the first-team offense, I would argue that the first-team defense is better than the first-team offense for the Giants. I don't think there's any question about that. I just think there's more talent on that side of the ball. I just think there's more playmakers on that side of the ball. It's not to say there's not talented dudes on the offense, because there's a couple groups I really like. I really like our tight ends. I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about our tight ends. Our running backs, although there's not a lot of flashy names at running back or household names, we've got some talented dudes from top to bottom in the running back position, and especially at tight end. Running backs and tight ends, we should have those all year long. And I think there's some sneaky good receivers on this team as well. I think there's some guys that are going to make the team that some people weren't expecting. But to go back to my point, it seems to be that, yes, the first team defense is better than the first team offense. However, it looks to be, and you saw it in game form today, that the offense has more depth than the defense. The second half, the defense really struggled to get off the field. There was obviously some plays that Buffalo screwed up, and the defense was able to take advantage of it. But you can just tell that there's a lack of talent, down in the depth chart for the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. So it's going to be extremely important, from what I've seen from this preseason game, that we stay healthy on the defensive side of the ball. The offense, there is a little bit of bending that can take place as far as losing some guys. And look, there's some guys we can't lose, but we could lose some guys, and some guys could step up and fill those roles that I would be confident about, right? And that's even going for the quarterback position. Even if you didn't have Dart, Winston showed some fun quarterback play today that I could be optimistic about as a fan. But that's really the biggest point that I saw today standing out, is that the offensive side has more depth than the defensive side, but talent-wise, as the first unit goes, the defensive side, man, is really, it's a talented group. Michael McFadden had a hit today that was really nasty. And the linebacking position, we haven't heard a lot about them this offseason and in this training camp, because there's been so much on the pass rush and the young guys in the secondary. But man, I saw some pop today from our linebackers that I felt really good about and confident about. But overall, man, totality, just really happy about, the Giants, what they did today, and good to see Dart out there making plays. We need to see some other guys. We need to see some more. We need to see more things happen and get a better feel for things. But, I will go more in depth about some guys that I really like as we go on the week. But just wanted to make this little post-game video, the positive vibes of today. And just, feeling good. It felt good. I don't know about you guys, but, 5 minutes before the game started, Pizzle was reeled in. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa, this is a preseason game. Need to chill the fuck out. But, just good to see Giants football back on my screen. And so, yeah. But anyways, we'll be making more content this week and going even more into it. So hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend.